Welcome to your before the mountain stretch. So we're going to focus on feet and IT bands and the hips to get you nice and open to go over jumps and fly down the mountain. So let's get started on our hands and knees. So making sure that the knees are below the hips, wrists are below the shoulders, and then press into the palms, separating the shoulder blades. Holding here for a moment to feel the strength of the body, of the arms. And then as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to round the spine, drop the crown of the head. Take one more inhale to drop the belly for cow. And exhale to round the spine for cat. Come back to a neutral spine, still pressing into the palms to spread the shoulders. And tuck the toes behind you. Begin to press the body back to the heels and flick the pinky out in case it gets stuck under. And then you can begin to sit back onto your heels, maybe bringing your legs together. You can readjust in any way that you need to. We're really stretching the bottoms of the feet here. If this becomes too intense, you can always come back to the palms to take some of the pressure out of the feet. But if you can stay on the feet, stay there. Close the eyes for a moment. Notice the stretch in the feet. And then flutter the eyes open. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Reach out of the fingertips. As you exhale, cactus the arms. Gaze can go slightly up. Shine the heart upward. And exhale, arms come back up and overhead. Chin drops toward the chest. Inhale the cactus. Gaze rises. Exhale, chin drops. One more time. And then bring the gaze back to center. Sweep the arms down to the thighs. And we'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. If you're not feeling anything in the feet or you want a little bit more sensation, press the big toes into the mat. 2 more rounds of breath. And then you can begin to plant the palms, walking them back out. And just roll onto the knees. Let the toes come up off the mat. Let the blood flow back into the joints. And then tap the toes on the mat. And bring the knees back out to hips width distance if they aren't already. Begin to sit back on the heels once again, but this time the toes remain untucked. So adjust in any way that you'd like to. You can bring the legs together or keep them apart. And then walk the fingertips behind you so that the fingertips are facing away from the body. Shine the heart forward and begin to bring the knees up off the mat. You can continue walking your hands back. So this time we're stretching the tops of the feet and the ankles. Definitely want open ankles to go into your boots. Continue rocking back. Maybe even bending the elbows to get a little bit deeper. And if your knees don't come up this high off the mat, it's not a problem. You might be down here, and that's okay. We're just building the mobility in the ankles and in the tops of the feet. So let's take 3 more rounds of breath here. And then you can bring the knees back down. Take a moment to shine the heart forward. Gaze goes up. Shoulder blades draw together. And then walk the hands back out in front of you. Let's come into a modified child's pose. So toes are facing back. Arms are reaching out in front of you and tent up on the fingertips. Long stretch in the spine. And then plant the palms, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Pedal it out here or take any movement that you need to. Feet are hips with distance. Knees can be bent any amount. Belly back toward the thighs, long straight spine. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And then after that breath, inhale the right leg back up behind you. Bend the knee to open the hip. Left heel drops toward the mat. Right heel drops toward the glute. Re-straighten the right leg and step the right leg in between the hands. Find your low lunge and then drop the left knee down, untuck the toes, low supported lunge, arms reach up overhead. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. And then frame the front foot. Left knee comes up off the mat, rise up into high lunge. Press into the feet, find your balance first. Sweep it open into warrior 2. Hands come to heart center. Straighten the front leg, bend the back, Skandasana. And rise back up, warrior 2. Sweep the arms forward, release the back heel, high lunge. So this takes some balance. Sweep it open, warrior 2. Bend the front knee. Hands come to heart center. Straighten the front leg. Bend the back. Rise back up. Warrior 2. Sweep it forward. High lunge. Back to warrior 2, moving nice and slow to keep our stability. Hands come to heart center. Side lunge. Open it back up to warrior 2. Sweep back forward, high lunge. Frame the front foot. Let's take a gentle twist here. Right arm floats up to the sky. Reframe the front foot. Step it back in a downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale the left leg back up behind you. Bend the knee to open the hip. Let the right heel drop toward the mat. Left heel drop toward the glute. Re-extend. And step the right leg in between the hands. Find low lunge for just a second. And then drop the right knee. Untuck the toes. Rise up. Let the hips sink down toward the mat. Want to keep those hips open and mobile. And exhale to release. Tuck the right toes. Knee comes up off the mat. And rise up. High lunge. Open up, warrior 2. And hands come to heart center as you straighten the left leg and bend the right. Rise back up, warrior 2. And move into high lunge. Sweep it open. Keep that knee tracking over the second and third toe. Open the hip a little bit more. And then hands to heart center. Side lunge. Rise back up. High lunge. Sweep it open. One more time. Sink low. And rise back up. High lunge. Frame the left foot. Left fingers go high to the sky. Exhale to release. This time, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale to halfway lift. Bring your hands to the upper shins. And exhale, release. Round through the spine to rise all the way up. When you rise at the top, bring the shoulders up to the ears and back down, shining the heart forward. From here, bring the hands to heart center. And you'll root down into the right leg. So root down, bring the left leg up to 90 degrees, flex through the foot. And then cross it over as if you're doing a standing figure 4. And sink down by bending the right leg into gentleman style chair. Stay steady. And then rise back up, just straighten the right leg. And sink back down. Might wobble, might come out of it. That's okay. We're just working on our balance. And then straighten it back up. Reset in any way that you need to. And sink back down. This time, stay in gentleman style chair. Keeping the chest shining forward, rooting through the right foot, and opening up the left hip and groin area. Let's stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And then straighten the leg, rise up. Left leg comes to 90 degrees and then back down. Give it a little shake out. Okay, bring the hands back to heart center. We'll just move to the other side. Root down into the left foot. Get nice and strong, hug that hip in, and then flex through the right foot as it comes up to 90 degrees. Keep the hip in. Cross the ankle over the left thigh. Find your rooting, and then sit down, gentleman style chair. And straighten the leg to rise up. Sit back down. Rise back up. This time, sit down and hold. Stay as steady as you can, but no worries if you fall out. 1 more breath. And then rise back up. Uncross the leg. Bring it back to the mat. Nice job. And then let's bring the arms over the head as you bend your knees, coming into chair pose. And holding here for 3 rounds of breath. Let the thighs and the glutes share the effort. And from here, just sink all the way down onto your seat and bring the soles of your feet together. So see how close you can get them into the body. And just give a little butterfly movement to your legs. And we'll take 1 more pose to get you ready for the mountain today. Bring the legs to stillness. And move the left leg out of the way for a second. You'll bring the right leg flexed toward parallel to the top of your mat. So the shin is parallel, as if you were going to do a pigeon. We're actually going to do fire log or double pigeon, this is called. And then you'll bring the left leg on top. Also, foot is flexed, so both feet are flexed. And the ankle sort of comes either right on top of the thigh or a little past it if it's feeling tender, like your ankle bone is pushing in to your other bone. Now, your knee might be up here, and that's okay. If it's feeling too far away, you can bring knee on top of knee instead and start there. Just keep both feet flexed. If you're doing the double pigeon fire log, it's okay if they're a little bit far apart, or if they're really far apart. You're working on energetically getting them to match up on top of each other. Wherever you are, let's bring the fingertips out to the side, shine the heart forward. Sit up nice and tall. If you'd like a little more, wherever you are, you can bring the fingertips out in front of you, and then you can begin to walk them out a little further. So you're feeling this in the IT bands, probably feeling it in the glutes a little bit, maybe in the upper back. There shouldn't be any pinching. It shouldn't hurt. It should just feel like you're getting a stretch here. So let's spend 5 rounds of breath. And then everyone bring their fingertips back out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. And then begin to help that top knee off. And the bottom knee comes up, both soles of the feet to the mat. You can give them a little windshield wiper from side to side before we move to the other side. So we'll start, bring your knees back to center. Start bringing the left leg parallel to the top of your mat, flexing through the foot. And then you'll bring the right leg on top, making any adjustments that are necessary. Again, if you're not feeling anything because your legs are too far apart, or you're just feeling like, heck no, I can't get my knee anywhere near that, then you can feel free to bring knee on top of knee. Or you can even plant the right foot outside of the left leg. If you're doing double pigeon, set yourself up. Everybody's got both feet flexed. Bring the arms out to the side, up on the fingertips. Shine the heart forward. And then if you'd like more sensation, sweep the fingertips out in front. We'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. You can begin to walk the fingertips back in. We'll meet with everyone with their fingertips out to the side. And then you can slowly help the legs back to center, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Give them a little windshield wiper. And now your legs and feet are ready for the mountain. Enjoy.